Hello everyone and welcome back to Farming Simulator 19 with your host, Hard Truck One. Hello everyone, welcome back to the farm. Sun's kind of bright. So picking off where we left off from last episode, we're going to continue getting our field ready and everything. So if you missed last week's episode or just whatever, we're just kind of going back to our roots of me actually working the field and everything. So, last week's episode I got it cultivated and I got it planted, and we just finished spraying the weeds. Now we need to go dump the herbicide out of our sprayer, and we need to switch over to more fertilizer and be able to come back and fertilize the farm, or fertilize the field. So we're going to do that. After we get the fertilizer done, before we roll time over to harvesting, there's a few things that we need to do before that. One of them is we need to get address the chickens, get them all squared away and everything, and then get them all squared away, and then we need to grab that trailer, dump it out. Well, I'm gonna run into the herbicide. I did. Dang it! I couldn't see past that tree. Chop that tree down. Yeah, we might as well fill it. Not that much to fill this thing. It is quite a bit to fill the cedar, but it's not that much to fill this thing. Yeah, so we'll need to address the chickens and everything. But first, let's get going. Let's get our field done here. Oh, backwards. There we go. Turn on our... Alright, let's get the field... fertilized. I kind of noticed that there is kind of a interesting weird thing with this. I don't know the people. I mean, I know it's Giant and everything, the company Giant and everything, but I'm kind of wondering and questioning, you know, how do they know that people, when farming, they fertilize like once or twice or 3 times or everything? Because I know, as y'all may know, I actually live on a farm, and we only fertilize once a year, really. And I mean like big industry chemical fertilization. I mean, we really don't have a big enough operation to continuously fertilize every single time. Every stage of crop production. So I'm wondering how they've based this fertilizing off of. It's like Farming Simulator 17 introduced a three times fertilization thing, and I'm trying to figure out what did they stage that off of, because even on your even really truthfully, and I don't know how they do it in the UK or Germany or wherever they're based at. But I know here in the United States, where I kind of live, anyway, the area that I live in the United States, even our biggest companies do not fertilize 3 times a year, 3 times in a growth growth stage period. I don't know of anybody that really does that. So I just kind of wondering that. All right. All right. So now that's done. We need to address our chickens really quickly. Now, if we look at our oops, wrong. Just hop out and get this disconnected. So we need to do X and Q. All right. Go over here and grab this. Go up to this real quick. Alright, now let's run up over here. Now, our chickens only... Hi, autosave. Would you go away? No. So our chickies are doing pretty well. We need to clean their pen. But they hold 5,000 wheat or barley. And wheat is what we have in the thing. So I think we can actually... And I don't think this number affects any of this over here. So we can actually fill their feeder back up. We'll scrape up what they've got on the ground right here and put it back in. But we can also fill up their feeder here. And then I think they should actually last for, 2 or 3 days. They should last for quite a while. So let's go ahead and get our parking brake off. Scrape this all up. Ooh, there's a little machine almost didn't want to stop that direction. Alrighty. Alright, so let's go ahead and park this guy over here now. Let's hit the parking brake even though we don't need it. Alright, now let's grab this guy. Let's go ahead and back this. I have to smooth this area out right here. We're gonna need all-wheel drive. Alright. Get a run at her. Alright. Alright, so that's our chickies. Okay? That's our chickies, completely filled up, completely done. Now, in theory, we shouldn't have to do anything with them other than clean them up every once in a while for a while. So that means that we can go dump this out, and then that way we can use it to run the soybeans every 2 or 3 so for 2 or 3 times before we even have to address getting more wheat or barley for them. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to do this. I'm going to turn off the lines for that. So let's go see. Now we had a oh, it's for wood chips, so we don't have wood chips, so we don't have to worry about that. All right, so we have wheat. Okay, so the port grain elevator has wheat is needing 713,000 for wheat. Okay. So, let's go ahead and dump this off. Now I found something interesting. This silo up here, we're not going to go dump anything in it, but I'm just going to tell you, you see the grain place off back there, that one on the train tracks? That is actually one of ours. Well, I don't know if it's ours or if it's just like a communal silo. But on a different map, I was wondering what the heck it did, because you don't have it. It's not on the map where you buy or sell stuff on it for it. And I went and dumped a load of grain that I had in it, and it's actually a storage place. It's actually really what I actually found out what it is it's a storage place for the train. So you can actually go and store your stuff. You can store all your grains in that. This is not supposed to be a stop, so I'm just going to go. So you can actually go and store grains and stuff in that silo, and then if you really want to, then in case in point, and then if you want to dump your stuff into like this grain silo over here, this granary over here that we're going to. Or actually in this one right here. That we're passing. Oh yeah, the elevator here. You can actually do that. Drive over the top of these. Don't get hit with the train. I gotta go around to the other side. So yeah, that's what you can do with that. I really did not know that, and I don't know if anybody else really knows that too. That on this map, there is actually a grain storage. It's just that you got to travel quite a distance to do it. Alright, so here we go. So we're going to dump our grain off in here. Alright, so that gave us 8 grand. That's nice. And you might be wondering, well, if you knew that, why didn't you just go dump? Well, for me, it's one of 2 reasons. First off, I need the money. I mean, as you can tell, I mean, we only had 17,000. After that, we only have 20-something thousand. Woohoo! Right now. So, really, truthfully, alrighty, I will go around. Oh, shut up! You're running into me, you jerk. Jeez Louise. drivers these days. They're crazy. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah. Anyway, it doesn't work for me because I really can't afford to take and store hardly anything right now. Anything that we make off of the field, we have to sell. Or I have to sell. We have to sell. I don't know which is it. Which is it? Is it we or I? I'm the one doing all the work, but you guys are all just watching me play. Maybe it's we. Okay. I'm gonna go with we. So anyway, we don't have the luxury to store any grain right now because of the fact that we are so low on. Now, of course, our running costs is not very much. Our property use is not very much. We do have a loan. We do have a little bit of a loan, but that's like a couple thousand, maybe not even that, a day. So as long as we can do a couple thousand a day, we'll be fine. We'll be great. And everything. So, but the fact of the matter is we can't store anything right at the moment. Even using the public storage up there, we can't store anything right at the moment because if we get too far behind, we're going to start running in red, and then it's really hard. It is absolutely atrocious to try to dig ourselves back out of that. So, alright, so we're going to park the tractor here because we're going to need it later. Alright, let's see if we can go. And as you can see, we've got some eggs going. I will need to, after a while, I don't know if it can be pulled by a tractor, but I do have a little trailer. I'm trying to remember, is it here? No. Is it here? No. Is it actually up here? Maybe it is up here. Oh yeah. So I've got this little guy right here for $5,000. We can get it, and we can pull a I got it for being able to move this, get this around, because we'll need this. I mean, we can pick these up and probably set them in that little trailer and everything, but I don't want to do that. There is that egg pallet. That egg pallet stores 2,500 eggs, or 2,500 liters of eggs, so we can use it. Oh. Why is there weeds right here? Oh, because the thing didn't get it right. Very good. Okay. But anyway, that's what that's for. Alright, so I think we have to roll time forward to at least 20. Then we'll hop in the old house here and see if we can rest throughout the night. Keeping in mind of what time it is now. That's a beautiful sunset. Kind of bright. Alright, so the lights just popped on in the house. Can we rest yet? Oh, we can sleep now. We'll go until it hits 20. There we go. Alright, so sleep, we want to sleep. 20 is 8 o'clock. So we want to go. Yeah, we want to go 11 hours. Because 8 o'clock, because 12 hours will put us 8 in the morning. This will put us 7 in the morning. Okay. Yeah, see, there's our loan interest. Oh, that put us 8 o'clock in the morning. Okay. That's okay. That works. Ah, look at that. Look at that, look at that, look at that. Cool. So now we just gotta wait for this to get going. Let's look at our chickies. Ah, they're sloppy ones. Alright. Let's take care of that before. Hold on. Come on. Get off there. There we go. Alrighty. So we got that cleaned again. Let's go over here and stare. Ah, look at the jump. So yeah, so while we're waiting for these to get to a point where we can get them thing. So I think our first order of business, really truthfully, is we need to get a bigger power unit for our grain header, because if we don't get a bigger for our grain header, if we don't get a bigger power unit, then we're going to be stuck basically in a weird way of being having to combine down the hill, back up, down the hill, back up, down the hill, and we're gonna have to do that several times. So I think if we can get quite a bit more, if we can get a little bit more money, I believe if we can get a little bit more money, then we can sell our old power unit for about, I think we bought it for about for 100,000. It should sell for about 76,000. If we can get an extra 50,000, then we can actually get maybe the power unit for this head, or if we can get a little bit more, we might be able to step up to the next power unit. After that, then I guess the biggest thing would be to get another field, and I'm thinking if we can get field 15, that should take and actually help get us going. Sorry, had to take a drink. So, yeah. It kind of looks like we're kind of getting into that it's cycling. The way it looks is I'm going to have to cycle through a night to get us to stay daylight. So maybe after we get this combined, I might actually have to do that. We might have to just cycle through a night to get us reset back to day, so that way I can keep doing this in the day. Well, look at the time. The time really flies by. So, unfortunately, even if this turns green, where we can harvest it right now, we don't have that much, we don't have enough time to harvest it in this episode. So, unfortunately, folks, I guess this was not a very productive, this was not a very productive, uh, episode. So, I guess I'm going to go ahead and end it here, and in the next episode, we'll pick up and get this combined. So yeah, unfortunately, folks, that's what we're going to have to do. So, I'm going to say with that, I'm Hard Truck 1. This is Farming Simulator 19, and I'll see you in the next episode. Laters.